Good afternoon. Don Brinks, your mayor. Today is Wednesday, July 22nd, 2020. My guest today is Frederick County Sheriff Charles A. Jenkins. Sir, thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you here. And I know you're very busy, very, very busy man.
Mr. Mayor, good to be here. I always like coming to Emmitsburg. I don't get here often enough.
Well, we love to have you up here. And I'm going to give a couple of updates and I'll be right back to you. As of this update, we are still working on the Governor Hogan's April 24th three-stage recovery plan. Maryland Strong Roadmap to Recovery. On July 14th, the governor issued an executive order 2006-1001. Basically, emphasis was on restaurants and bars, and we went over that. We're somewhere in stage 2, and we're holding there as things are monitoring. Some of the statistics are that we have tested over 1 million people in the state as of this morning. 80,172 confirmed cases, 702,661 persons tested negative, 3,276 people have died. That's a +4 in a 24-hour period. Frederick County will not give any updates on anything. We're about holding where we are at about 28 confirmed cases in our zip code, 21727. State ICU beds demand is down. Acute beds slightly uptick. Total beds from graphs appears to be about even. Again, there's more on that coming up. We have COVID-19 testing at the Seton Center on East Lincoln every Tuesday, 12 to 2 p.m. There will be no charge, no appointments needed. For further information, please call them at 301-447-6102, 301-447-6102. Due to lack of rain, myself and the commissioners at the July 13th regularly scheduled monthly meeting enacted phase 1 of the town code 13.04.160, which is phase 1, again, voluntary restraint by all people. We will assess this and make have a further update at our August meeting. Thank you for support of local restaurants, repair shops. Everybody's trying hard and they really appreciate the service and you bearing with them at this time. Pool capacity, 111 by special health department conditions. Bear with us, masks required as you enter the pool, in changing areas, and when you talk to lifeguards or management. Lions Club will again run the snack bar. We are at about 68.4% on our census update 2020. We've got a couple of months. They gave us an extension. Last time in 2010, before I was mayor, it was the highest they reached was 50%, so we're about 18% higher, but we have to do better than this, and we're going to try to push it across the finish line. $18,000 per person is what this is estimated, the value to our community over the next 10 years. And if you multiply, you do the multiplication of that times 18,000 times 3,000 people. Sheriff, thank you for coming today, and just incredible that you have time to do all these other things. Your National Sheriff's Association as a second vice president, Maryland Sheriff's Association, National Sheriff Leadership Institute, and then you still have time for Lewistown District Fire Department Vice President, Ruritan, Lewistown Youth Athletic Association, Frederick County Farm Bureau, and you received the Distinguished Alumni Award from Frederick High in 2013, and you also have the President's Medal from Mount St. Mary's. You have a wonderful family and that have grown up here and enjoyed our county. Tell me, how is everything going? About the opiate. Let's start off with that.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, all the focus has been on the COVID since early March, mid March. But the one thing that's still going on that nobody's really paying attention to is the opioid heroin addiction problem. We've seen the steady increase in opioid overdoses. Heroin overdoses are still going on, consistent with last year's numbers in terms of fatal and non-fatal overdoses. So the problem's still out there, but it's not being addressed to the same degree it was because of all this other stuff with the COVID-19.
Is there attention at hospitals being bumped by the COVID-19, or have they? I've heard that some circles that maybe people are not getting in for things like that.
No, I mean, if you need medical attention, certainly you can still go to the hospital, to the emergency room for the overdoses and things like that. Sure, that's not being bumped at all.
Okay. Is there a percentage it's up or down? Or?
I would have to say at my last glance of the numbers, we're right in line with just about last year's numbers, just about one fatal overdose per week, one non-fatal overdose per day. But my concern, and I've said this for a couple years now, because of all the Narcan that's out there in the public, that a lot of overdoses that are non-fatal are probably not being reported. So my guess is, and it's only a guess, but my guess is probably non-fatal overdoses are underreported by maybe as much as 30-40%.
Oh my God.
That's scary.
How is the recruitment for deputies?
Well, I'll say this. Recruitment is getting tougher every year. We've seen the numbers of people who are interested in law enforcement decline. Everybody's seeing that across the country. We're seeing lesser people apply. We're seeing people who come into it and get into it and really find it's not for them. There's an increasing number of young recruits like those, but it's getting really, really tough, and all these problems across the country don't help things any. I mean, listen, I've said this all along. Frederick County is absolutely the greatest place to have a law enforcement career. We respect the public. In turn, the public gives that respect back to us. This couldn't be a finer place to work or have a career in. And that's what we try to sell Frederick County as when we recruit young people. This is a great place to raise your family, have that police career. And again, I attribute our successes in terms of reductions in crime, the problems we don't see here in Frederick County, to the type of people that live here. But recruitment's getting tough. Hiring is even tougher because people who want to get into the job, they make decisions in their early adult years that prohibit them from getting into the job, like substance abuse, theft issues, crimes that they commit, things that they do in their early 20s, late teens that keep them from getting into it. So it's really not a good situation.
Well, we hope the best. We're very impressed with our resident deputies here.
I have to say the resident programs here in Emmitsburg, Middletown, Myersville are going extremely well. We try to select the people that work best with your town, that police that small town type policing that you want here in Emmitsburg and Middletown and Myersville. And I think we do a pretty good job of selecting the right people and make sure they fit with your administration.
They do very well, and they get involved in the community. They bring Christmas presents to people, and we're very happy with.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
You grew up here, and you've seen the population go from 70,000 in your youth to 260,000, whatever it is today. It's amazing. The road system, anything.
Oh yeah, yes. I was born and raised in Frederick City. Moved one time out of the city of my life to Lewistown. I still live there 38 years later. I've seen Frederick County come from a fairly small rural type community to a larger, suburb of D.C., you might say, from 70,000 to about 242,000 people. All the problems that go with that. The road networks were never designed to carry this volume of traffic anywhere in the county. Everybody is just in a rush to go everywhere. The interstates are clogged. 270 and 70 are problems all the time. But it's the arteries that feed into that. The roads, right, like Route 26, like Route 144, all the major, Route 85 is a nightmare down there during the commute time. So these are problems that are going to have to be addressed at some point. Now, things over the last 4 months have not quite been as bad because people aren't traveling to work. They're working from home, not working at all. They're working on rotated schedules. So the traffic has been a lot less, and we've had a lot less headaches. But we are seeing again the speeds, the crashes, all the problems we typically see.
You are, okay. Yeah. Okay, give me a minute, I'm gonna go over a couple things.
Sure.
I'll be right back with you. Thank you. Construction work for the new Dunkin' Donuts is still underway and proceeding. They're still targeting for September 1 opening. That's a wonderful addition. The Maryland Brokers Insurance Building across East Main, virtually from Jubilee, is the same there. That's going to be a company that probably accommodate 20 people working here in the town, and that is on schedule. I just talked to the owner, and should be around September 2. Farmers Market is open from 3 to 6:30 today, right here at the community center, right on the lot there. Yard waste, August 1st, August 15th, out at the site at the wastewater treatment plant. Yeah, there, again, only paper or recyclable bags are accepted. Still have some grant money for small businesses. We're going to close that out shortly. That will sundown. So if you have any, please contact us. If you're self-employed, we may have some opportunities for you. Our next town meeting is Monday, August 3rd at 7:30 p.m. It will be a virtual meeting, but you'll still be able to call in. I want to see if there's anything else here. We're starting to see the scams pick up. Are you seeing those?
We are. I'm glad you brought that up. And yes, all types of scams, online, by telephone. I can't tell you how many people call us every day, and actually I get calls myself, people who are getting calls asking for money because family members are locked up in jail somewhere, under arrest somewhere, have done something, need money to get them out of trouble. And unfortunately, the shock value to this hits these folks so quickly up front. They'll do anything, and they'll send money immediately to wherever they're told to send it to get their family member out of a problem. And I would encourage everybody, first of all, don't do anything over the phone. Don't agree to anything. Don't provide personal information. Certainly don't send money to anyone anywhere without some type of verification. And for people who are getting calls from like the Internal Revenue Service, things like that, those agencies don't do business by telephone. You will receive letters in the mail, correspondence in the mail. So these things that happen over the telephone, hang up the phone, ignore them, because you're typically 99 times out of 100 it's a scam. Okay. And I hate to see people victimized. And typically they target older residents.
Yeah, that's it's a shame, but
it is.
And we always want to thank everybody in the front lines who work through this, our emergency services, our deputies, and people at the Jubilee and Med One. They've been there, masked up, and always been able to help us at any time. But I guess, is there anything you'd like to tell us about, finally, or final comments on anything else?
Well, let me just say this. Overall in Frederick County, things are going extremely well in terms of what's going on the streets. We've seen a reduction in crime, of course, over the past 4 or 5 months. A lot of that due to the inactivity on the street because of the COVID. But I do think we're probably on our 7th consecutive year in reductions of crime in Frederick County, which is great. Through this whole, and again, this whole 5 months has been just really something we've never seen before. Don't know how to react to it. But the men and women in law enforcement, I know for a fact my agency have done a heck of a job out there. They're still solving crimes. They're still taking bad people off the streets. There is no COVID virus in the jail. They've done a great job at the detention center keeping that out. And I give all the men and women credit that work there because they have kept that virus out of the jail. So that's a good thing. I will tell you, for people who are interested, tonight, Wednesday evening, there's going to be a presentation by the county council on the 287G audit. And I just want people who are concerned about that to take a look at it, tune in, see the county council meeting, because this allegation that I've been spending millions of dollars on the immigration enforcement over the years is a fallacy. It's this whole audit wasn't necessary. but they chose to do it. So I'm going to be exonerated tonight. I've been accused of misappropriation. That'll all be made clear tonight, and you'll see the value of this program in Frederick County. So
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Well, on behalf of myself, the county council, our town council, and our staff and our residents, I want to thank you for taking the time to come up here. It's always a pleasure to see you, and thank you for your service to our community. And thank you, sir.
Thank you, Don.
We'll be back next week, and we'll have a local developer who is thinking about doing a hotel and hope you'll have a wonderful day. Watch the heat, everybody, and be safe. Thank you. Have a good day.